What the fuck? Alright. Grand house, my dude. Yeah, but like, what's that?
Well met, friend, and welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable, but try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
What's the empty plaque for? Where'd you get the stuff? Set of value. You've quite a collection here.
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Adventuring days, so you are retired then?
Semi-retired, actually. This region is still untamed and fraught with many dangers. I have had plenty of opportunities in the last few years to take up my sword and shield and do battle with those who threaten the safety of Easthaven and its neighbors. In fact, I am planning such an expedition right now. That is what I wanted to speak to you about.
Oh, this is Hrothgar. Duh, okay. I should read the name. What sort of expedition?
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from Easthaven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
Oh, I just realized that the screen is zoomed in. Huh. We'll see if there's anything important that's missing. Like, it misses the top half of the screen, so that's not great. Alright, oh god, actually. There we go. You're like, join us, what say you? What sort of evil forces are we talking about? Yeah.
I don't really know. The message wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting. We need to get this expedition moving before the snows seal off the pass to Kaldahar. So what's it going to be? Are you in or out?
Sounds exciting. Count us in.
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters? Perhaps we could help? Very well, we shall return.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Poma, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store. He's been complaining that the regular caravan from Caer Dineval is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Now, normally I take Pomap's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caer Dineval. Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year. Once you find it, see the caravan safely to Easthaven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Kaldahar Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
Gorgon. And is this Illithid? Got in. Yeah. I don't really want to. You know, you seem like a nice guy, and I really don't want to piss you off, but I also want to steal everything. So we're just gonna save there. And I'm gonna stick most of everyone over here.
Ready.
This guy. Just gonna come into here. I can't tell where that door is in relation. Is it like this
Your
whole?
desire?
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Like that whole area.
What? Good.
Fail. You know, the first part succeeded, so I'm gonna save again. Alright, so is it a thing where if I equip an item that was stolen, that they are like, oh, that shit's mine?
Yes,
You know?
it shall be done.
We're just gonna just keep breaking into random people's houses. Can we go inside? Alright, who's in the front?
Yes,
You?
it shall be done.
Indeed.
Anyone here? Anyone home? No? That's boring. Alright.
Yes, it shall be done.
Oh my god.
Speak your
Please.
mind. Forward.
There we go. Ah, who are you? The random townsperson. Various fishing poles and gaffs are stacked in the corner. None seem to be of any particular value.
Indeed.
I'll take one. Alright, cool.
Indeed.
Oh, this must be temple with blue glass. Tell me more about the evils. Initiate. Okay. His battered steel helmet is crested with the 5 serpentine heads of a hydra. The inscription upon its stand reads, "The Helm of Gardam Greenaxe. Gardam was the captain of the famed adventuring company, the Dragonclaw clan. The fate of this legendary swordsman remains a mystery, though he is presumed to be dead. He was last seen entering the Marsh of Tun, alone." This huge warhammer looks as if it would take the combined strength of 2 men to wield it. Its thick steel head is bound with studded bronze bands and is speckled with what appears to be dried blood. The inscription upon its stand reads, "Bone Cracker. This magnificent weapon belonged to the legendary warrior Dumok the Fist, who died in the assault on Dragonspear Castle."
As you will it.
Hello, my name is Akalia. I'm an initiate here at the Temple of Tempus. I help Everard maintain the temple armory and perform rituals. Well met, Akalia. I'm Aurora. You're an initiate of the Temple in Faith, eh? I didn't realize that the Lord of Battles is so popular up here. Tempus is revered a great deal by the barbarian tribes up here. They call him Tempus. We immigrants see a lot of conflict and violence in these parts, and people want to make sense out of it all. Barbarian tribes. How do they feel about the 10 towns being here? It changes from season to season, from year to year, like all things. They are mistrustful of us immigrants and often view our settlements here as an intrusion on their land. Sometimes they trade with us, sometimes they war with us. Their love-hate. You said us immigrants, where are you from? Originally from Neverwinter, I came here to aid Battle Lord Everard when the former war priest Renfield was killed in a battle against the barbarians near Bryn Shandir. From Neverwinter. Okay. What's Everard like? Everard, well, Everard is still adjusting to his position here. I think he'd much rather still be serving Tempus on the front lines, but his duty is to guard this holy site, the site of Jerrod's stone. You should ask him about it. He knows more of the tale than I do. Oh. I want to look up now. If Everard is both a warrior and a priest, how does that fit into the Temperan faith? It is actually part of a simple truth that we Temperans believe. Conflict is all around us. Every man and woman has something that he or she believes in, which he or she will die to promote or preserve. Tempus tells us that we should live for something of importance. If we kill, if we die, the same. We preach that conflict and war are vital to mankind's existence. Okay, that's kind of rude, but sure, I agree. Even if we don't like the fact that it's happening, conflict is pretty inevitable in life. Exactly, that is why we East Haveners practice the Temperan faith and perform the rituals of the Lord of Battles. What rituals do you perform? We celebrate the Feast of the Moon in remembrance of the battle dead. We also sing the Song of the Sword at least once a 10-day. Because of the church's close proximity to the site of so many great battles, our congregation also has local celebrations to remember all of the mighty conflicts that have raged across Icewind Dale. The most important daily ceremonies are the Feast of Heroes at high sun and the Song for the Fallen at sunset. What are the Feast of the Heroes and the Song for the Fallen? They're pretty straightforward. The Feast of Heroes is a meal that we eat at high sun. During it, we remember the final meal which each warrior eats before he or she enters mortal battle. The Song for the Fallen is a dirge that we sing at sunset as a daily memorial for those who have died in battle. Interesting what local battles do celebrate. We celebrate the Battle of Jerrod's Stone. I'd tell you more about it, but Everard prefers that any questions about it to be directed to him. He has somewhat of a different perspective on the teachings than most. Ask him about it if you see him. How about him? Okay, cool. Thank you, I'm asleep. Okay, so there's some great weapons. Shield. Is this Everard? See him. Did I get a question mark? This glyph warded door set into the floor appears to lead down to a chamber beneath the temple. There doesn't appear to be a way to open it. So the stone must be down there. Is what I assume.
Hrothgar mentioned there were strangers in town. What is it you want?
I'm Aurora. Are you the high priest of this temple?
Yes, I am Everard. Everard of Tempus, battle priest of the Lord of Battles. What brings you here?
Messenger.
Yes,
I heard there was a
man
messenger.
from Kuldahar found his way to our door, and he was dead by morning. He claimed he was a messenger from the Archdruid of Kuldahar.
Messenger from the Archdruid of Kuldahar. What
The
did you
man
want?
spoke of disturbances in Kuldahar. His wounds prevented me from making any sense of his words. Perhaps Hrothgar understood more than I, for he's preparing an expedition.
Are you going on this expedition?
No, for my place is here. Were I invited, I would still not go. My injuries would only slow the expedition.
Your injuries? Were you wounded in battle?
These eyes have seen battle, yes. And my skin bears the mark of swords and axes. That was long ago. Now my place is here.
Why would you leave battle behind?
Because there are many ways one may serve one's god. I am of the Order of the Broken Blade. My duty is to watch this place.
Order of the Broken Blade?
Yes, we were warriors. Wounded in battle, our injuries now keep us far from the front lines. Still, we are fit to guard holy sites to our Lord.
This is a holy site.
It is sacred to Tempus, yes. It marks the field where the barbarian Jerrod gave up his life ages ago. He lies encased in stone beneath this temple.
I know what happened, but do they need to know what happened? What happened?
Jerrod was a shaman who lived long ago. He brought unity to the northern tribes and led them to victory against the army of Arachon, at the cost of his life.
How did he die?
Once Arachon saw his army routed by Jerrod and the northern tribes, he sought to bring the Hells to his aid. Arachon opened a gate to the lower plains.
But demons? Arachon would have been damning himself.
Arachon was an archmage. Storms moved at his word. Legions worshipped him as a god. Such men would rather damn themselves than admit defeat.
But if Arachon summoned demons to the battlefield, then the northern tribes would have been destroyed.
I do not believe that. Jerrod did. It is said that Tempus himself appeared to Jerrod upon the battlefield, and Jerrod took that as a sign.
A sign to do what?
Jerrod believed Tempus was calling him to sacrifice himself for his people to ensure victory. And so he cast his body into the portal, his blood fusing it to stone. It lies entombed beneath the temple to this day.
You sound like... You don't sound like you agree with Jerrod's choice.
Jerrod had no need to sacrifice himself. Tempus's appearance was a test of faith, proof Jerrod's people had already won the field that day. Jerrod failed his god and died a coward's death.
Are you sure his death was in vain? Jerrod did seal the poor...
One dies for Tempus with a blade in one's hand, not by martyring oneself within the embrace of infernal magics. Jerrod's duty was to stand with his comrades, not cast himself to his death when the field was already theirs.
His sacrifice may have prevented other deaths, Everard.
Sacrifice? Let me say this of sacrifice, young one, then we shall speak of this no more. Sacrifice is a death that has meaning. When it is in vain, it is not sacrifice. It is a waste. That is the lesson of Jerrod's stone.
And this stone is buried beneath the temple.
Aye, a great stone disc that holds Jerrod's corpse for eternity. And so I watch and guard it in Tempus's name.
I see. I had some other questions I wish to ask you.
You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
I got sort of information about that. Not a lot of information about that. Did hear about that. I know what that is. Yeah, just give me all the information. Tempus is the god of war, is he not?
War is but one of Tempus's aspects. Warriors, true warriors, worship him as well.
You carry the scars of war, Everard. Were you wounded in battle?
These eyes have seen battle, yes.
Okay,
And
so
my
you can-
skin bears the mark of...
There's
You
other
are free to
questions.
ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
Do you know anything about the expedition that Hrothgar's putting up to? Is there any more information, or is it just going to be circular?
I have heard of it, yes. A messenger from Kuldahar visited the temple not long ago, and it has spurred Hrothgar to see what has happened. You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers. The door leads beneath the temple to the site of Jerrod's stone. It was sealed with glyphs of Tempus to prevent entry long ago.
Well, I must take my leave. Farewell. And I must take my leave. Yeah, so we have some information on what else going on. Can I uncover the top of that statue? There we go. Look at that. But yes. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Yeah. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye.